Hey, I'm your host, BKP, and it's time for Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. Welcome to Season 4. Sorry, just running a minute or two behind here. We're live at Circuit World in East LJ. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing the meal every week for the players and the coaches, and also Pepsi. We want to thank them as one of our sponsors. The 2017 Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. I'm here with head coach Casey Wingard, also offensive coordinator Tim Taylor, and I have on the couch junior Kyle Paris, right guard. Did I get that? Okay. And also a junior Brett Bennett, a cornerback. All right. Bobcats coming off a tough loss over at Cedartown, 63-0. So we're talking Quad A Region 6 football. We've only got one more game. There's a bye week Friday night. We only have one more game, non-conference before region play. But we're looking at Quad A Region 6 football. Just to let you know who's in the region. Ridgeland, Heritage, Lafayette, Southeast Whitfield County, Northwest Whitfield County, and Pickens County. Coach Wingard,
Yes,
you basically have 2 weeks to prepare. 0-3. A lot of different looks. I don't know how to frame this up, but now I don't like to make excuses, and I know you don't like to also. But Cedartown probably may be one of the best 4A schools in the state.
Yeah, they had a lot of weapons and a lot of spots.
But what did you bring home? I know the scoreboard. We always talk about the scoreboard. What did you bring home? Able to start working on for region play. You got one more non-region game. You got 2 weeks. Now this is the time of the year. I couldn't say, and I'm gonna let you go on this. I couldn't personally say that the bye week couldn't come at a better time.
Yes.
Go ahead, Coach.
Yes, the bye week coming. Basically, what we took back from that Cedartown game is small victories, and that's what we talked to the team about a couple weeks back. We're looking for those small victories, things that they improve on from week to week. Cedartown was an exceptional team. They have a lot of talent on the field, a lot of weapons in each spot. So to see our kids out there, they had some success on some plays defensively and offensively, and those things we want to highlight and show the kids you did the right technique, you had the right stance. This is what we're coaching to do. This works, and now the bye week's coming up, we can have time to step back and focus again on the fundamental things. And, this is what we're going to do offensively, defensively, and just take our time and take a breath and get that straight for this week. Looking, of course, towards next Friday for Murphy, which, they do a couple things we haven't seen yet this year. So it'll be interesting to match up with them as well.
Offensive coordinator Tim Taylor, thanks for being on with us. Let me ask you, after these are young guys. I've got 2 juniors and 2 sophomores. You got a young team. Definitely, the reality is just rebuilding right now, working on some things. Offensively, what are some of the things that you're able to do in the next 2 weeks that you've seen in 3 weeks that you can start putting some things together, getting ready for region play?
Well, we always focus on fundamentals, and we always tell the players we're always trying to improve. And it'll always come back to those building blocks of basic things that they have to do with their stances and their alignments and play knowledge and those things. And because we have an entirely new system, totally unlike anything these kids have ever run before, the learning curve is pretty steep right now. And so we're still trying to get more of our total system in, and trying to get more repetitions and really taking some of the pressure off this week, because they don't have to have a competition this week, but at the same time putting pressure on them to learn the system and get better at it.
Well, let me ask you, David Smith is actually, as a junior, he's a third-year starter. What are some of the things that you've seen in the 3 weeks as far as starting to get your line, starting to get some protection, starting to get him some time, and getting some receivers freed up? Are those some of the things that you're starting to put together or able to do in the next 2 weeks?
Well, yes, that's what we're emphasizing. David had lost some confidence in and being in the pocket. And with good reason, because those guys, Cedartown had some really good defensive linemen. They put a lot of pressure on it. But we're emphasizing this week being able to stay in that pocket, being able to get the ball thrown, and being able to deliver it in the right places. And with our linemen, like I said, we're so young, we're continually trying to just pressure them and put emphasis on the fundamental things, because they have not had enough repetitions at the things we do yet to get as good as we want them to be. So we're just pushing the wheel.
Kyle, as right guard, you're a junior. You're definitely on a team that's starting to come together. You're a bunch of young guys. What are some of the things that you're thankful that you have this 2 weeks at this time that you've seen in the past 3 games that you guys can work on?
Well, most of the line, we need to work on staying low, learning our assignments a little better, working on our scoops and veering ends, especially me. And we're just going to get some good reps this week on the plays.
Brett, as a cornerback, okay, what about your first 3 weeks? What are some of the things that you can put together in that 3 week? I mean, we could sit here and break down Cedartown and, hey, the team and what you guys are up against, but realistically, let's put the 3 weeks in a whole of this bye week, some of the things as cornerback that you guys are working on.
Yeah, just like Kyle said, like just going over our plays, like for the team that were coming up and next week playing against, just learning what like situations to do against them and just learn their different formations and how to line up against it and how to just prepare for this week.
Now, have you guys already taken the time, or are you going to wait till next week to look at Murphy? You looking at Murphy now, or are you working on some things this week?
We're working on. Well, we came back and Monday we labored on Labor Day. We also took time to look at our corrections from Cedartown. We showed them things that we did that was really positive, and of course we want to build them up. That's what we're here for. We're here to help them. So we showed them some positive things that they did really well in the game. And then we saw some of the negative stuff too that is coachable and fixable with that. So we spent some time doing that Monday, and then today it was more here's a list of their formations and breaking down the film. So we kind of introduced and rolled out Murphy today, showing them the different offensive formations that they can get in and how they want to attack us. And then offensively, we looked at their defense, what kind of defense they run, and then we saw what was, offensively, what can we put in or what can we have to attack that defense. So we kind of introduced it today, with some walkthrough and put it in play.
Guys, let me ask this question before we go to our first break. And as you already know, we ask every player this. Kyle, when you came Monday, you got 3 weeks. When you came Monday, what did you say you could do better, you could work on harder, put more of yourself into, and you wanted to focus on? What did you say that?
Well, I need to work on get my pads lower, correct my stances a little bit better, get farther off from the center, and just like support the team, be bought into the system.
And what about you, Brett? When you showed up, you said, because I always say, it might get old, repetitious every week hearing the same thing, but I always say no matter what kind of game you had last week, there's always something you can show up in the locker room and say, I can work on, I can improve myself and put more into. What was that for you?
More effort and just keep my head high, even when might seem down at the moment, but just go to the next play after that. And personally, just be more of a team leader.
All right, guys, last week Coach talked about having a team meeting and, the team picture. And you guys are definitely the team picture of the Gilmer Bobcats. It's, there's a lot of character in what you're doing. Coming in every week, staying focused, keeping a good attitude. It really is. All right, I got a lot of respect for it. We're behind you all the way. You're going to be over there in Murphy. They're fast little guys.
Yeah, they got a great system. Hasn't changed, I don't think, in 30-something years. A good little wing tee system, and they're hard-nosed football players.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Murphy. We're going to bring two more guys into it. Again, to me, is it a perfect week for the bye week? I mean, yes. Right now,
weather and everything.
Perfect week to come in and have some time to work on some things. And also, David Smith, if you're out there, I heard the word confidence in the pocket, so I'm going to have a personal message for you at the end of this show. If you're out there, David, you want to stick around because you're going to want to hear what I have to say. Take us a break.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ellijay Fitness Center, located at 379 River Street in Ellijay. Open 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Locally owned and operated by Mark and Amy Woodring. Now offering sport-specific training to young athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. If you want to excel, let us help you be your best. Call or come by today for customized programs. 706-636-2348. Ellijay Fitness Center, your local and friendly health club. A place where everybody is somebody.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win.
And we're back. My name is BKP, and this is Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. We're at Circuit World in East LJ. Welcome to Season 4. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing a meal for the players and the coaches, and also Pepsi, one of our sponsors. This is 2017 Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. I've got head coach Casey Wingard on with us tonight, and offensive coordinator Coach Tim Taylor. Now joining us on the couch is Jace McClure, left tackle, sophomore. Dylan Ellington, left guard, sophomore. Coach, before I get to these guys here, young team, a young group of guys,
Yes.
A lot of talent to work with.
Yes.
Like, you got 2 sophomores, just had 2 juniors.
Yes.
What is that like this year, working with a bunch of these young guys here?
For us as a coaching staff, it's exciting because we have, with sophomore, how much they've developed from the time we came in with them, learning defensive system, offensive system, having them being where they are now. We've got so many months with them before they graduate. So knowing that we've got time to implement and to hone in on their skills to get them bigger, stronger, faster, and learning the system and buying in, that's exciting.
Coaches, when you're working with a group of young guys like this, are there things that you're seeing on the field that, the fans are not seeing yet? Are there things you're seeing on the field that, it's not showing up, but you're seeing it on the field? And some days you walk away saying, hey, one day, maybe next year or later in the year, these guys are going to come together and you're going to see what we're seeing? Right,
Absolutely. Like Coach said, we always celebrate small victories because no matter how bad anything ever is, there's always some good in it.
Right.
Even when our practices, and week before last, we had what we felt was a really bad practice. We go back and look at the film and realize it was really one of our better practices. There were just critical things that went wrong at certain times when we go back and watch the film, and that's what happens in a game oftentimes. So, yes, we're seeing a lot of things. We're seeing a lot of really good backside scoop blocks. We're seeing our double teams are getting better. Basically, really everything we're doing is improving. It's not improving sometimes as quickly as we want it to, but it is improving.
Jace, let me ask you that. You're a sophomore on this team. Are you seeing some of the younger guys starting to come together and realize, hey, we're developing together. We're bringing this together at a young age? You're just a sophomore playing already on the varsity. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes, sir. I see that. All of us younger kids, we try to get along as well as we can with the seniors, and we're all coming together very well.
How about yourself?
I think we're growing together as a team. Me and Jace, we've grown up together for years, and I think since this new system, the coaches have done a very good job with us building a team. Last year, I don't like to mention it, but we had a few issues with team building. Some of the seniors weren't exactly very friendly to the freshmen and the lower classmen, but now I think the coaches are doing a very good job developing everyone together so we can work together as a team.
Well, you know what I always say, and I know Coach knows this, Dylan, is you got to own it. If there's something going on the field, you got to own it, or you can't make the corrections. And to have seniors working with the juniors, working with sophomores, and bringing it together is very important. Let me ask you also, how are the first 3 games, Jace, for you, that this is an off week? Do you guys see an opportunity to take all the things off the film that you've been watching and the games you've been in and really put some things together to go into region play?
Yes, sir, I do. In this off week, I feel like we can come closer as a team and kind of master our assignments and just get better with the plays.
What about yourself?
I think the first few games were really an eye-opener for me. As a freshman, I didn't get to play at all, so I think this has really woke us up, and this bye week gives us time. So now in the film, we can see what we did wrong and learn to correct it over this next week.
Let me ask that question, Coach, because you got the coaching staff out there, and there's times where you guys walk off the field and you leave them out there so they can develop their own leadership and depend on each other. How do you see that this year? I mean, Guy put it out there opposed to last year and some of the things that we know.
Right.
And this year, you having the lead. Yeah. What are some of the things you're starting to see this year with these guys?
The ownership that they have taken upon themselves. This is their team. This is nobody else's team. The people that are in these walls, and I tell this to the players all the time, we're in this together. Everybody's here. We're united. We're together. We got each other's back. We don't need to listen to the water around us or any outside influences. So giving those players the time to come together, that's a process that takes time, development over time. And when the players step up and take ownership, like we talk about every week, when they take ownership and hold each other accountable and push each other, that's when you get the thing rolling. That's when you start harnessing that positive energy towards each individual, so they're picking each other up if somebody's having a bad practice or if somebody misses the catch. They're trying to help them out and build them up, and you start getting that, and that's a scary thing to start get it rolling. You know, you can pull more out of an athlete that knows that you're going to be there supporting them and getting after it. So that's what we're trying to harness with all the younger kids, from the seniors all the way to the freshmen. And it has been a good atmosphere. The scores have not shown that. The neon lights on the scoreboard do not tell what's really happening right now. But in time, I hope that will start to condense and then change.
How about for you, Coach? Because I always say you're on the sideline and you practice all week with these guys and you coach them up and you walk out there. You're on the sideline, you send them out to the center of the field, and that's when they have to come together.
Absolutely.
And are those things you're starting to see?
Yes. and it's like you said, we can do everything we can to prepare them, but we can't play for them. And we have to put it entirely on them when they go out. And that's what's so great about football, is you get that opportunity and you get to throw yourself in competition every week against some people, and sometimes your opponents are better. But competition makes us better because it forces us to play at a different level. And I'm very pleased with the leadership that I've seen and with the ownership, like Coach said, that the players have taken of our system and everything we're doing. And their buy-in, we're pleased with that.
Jason, let me ask you, this week when you came to practice after 3 games, what are the things that you said you want to work on, you could do better, you want to focus and improve yourself?
I need to work on learning my plays and just getting repetition at those plays.
Dylan, what about yourself? What did you say you wanted to work on this week?
Making my calls louder, staying low, making sure my pass pro has been something lately that I've noticed I need to improve on, and just other small things that I think could help us as a team out a lot.
What are some of the things you got this Friday night off? Folks, Gilmer Bobcats are off this Friday night, but next week they're going to be traveling over to take on the Murphy Bulldogs. In watching film of these guys for upcoming, what do you see on their offense and defense that's the challenges that you maybe haven't seen this year? Different kind of team, different kind of speed. What are they running that you're looking at?
They got a wing T. They can go in a couple formations we're breaking down now. They run wing T offense. Defense is kind of a stack 4-3 defense, and it's one of those things that, you know, preparing for them, you see them on film, they're having a lot of kids come back from last year too. Their quarterback's coming back, and knowing kind of where they attacked us last year and had success. That's kind of, you know, what we're looking at just as this week during our bye week, kind of what we're focused on. Introduce the formations to them, introduce the offensive game plan, and then really at the end of the week and the next week, start getting the preparation mentally for them to be ready to go out on the field with them. Murphy's well coached, a sound football team, got some good athletes in places, and we're just going to have to do assignment football and then focus on ourselves and focus on doing our job, what we preach to them all the time.
Well, guys, I never want to come away from a show sounding negative on any other team, but some teams play non-region games. They pick their competitors, and that's up to them, and then they go into region play, and they hadn't played a whole lot of football. You guys are playing some good football teams. I know the neon lights on the scoreboard, but you guys have jumped out, yes, and you guys have jumped out and played good football teams. So you're really headed over to Murphy and into region play, being able to say, you know what, we've been able to unify as a team, mature, work on things, and we've been playing good football teams. So when you get into region play, you good with that, Coach?
I'm great with that.
I'm always nervous sitting next to you, Coach. I never know when I'm going to go a direction. And
No, you good.
all right, I always check, Coach. I always want to make sure.
No.
Okay, David Smith, this one's for you. All right. Now I heard, David, I didn't do this. Okay, I heard confidence in the pocket. If you lived to talk about the next day, your freshman year, playing against that guy down there in Cartersville, you're okay, David. I watched you all night long. That boy was rough, David. You're okay, okay? So I just want to tell you, 'cause that was you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
David, you remember that too? I'm sorry, maybe
Yeah,
now
he
I'm in
probably
trouble,
doesn't
right?
remember it.
Huh?
He probably doesn't.
Oh, David, you're okay, buddy. I just want to give you a shout out. We love you here. Hey, season 4 of Gilmer Bobcat Turf Talk. Want to thank again Shane's Rib Shack. Want to thank Circuit World here at East LJ. Come by, tell them you've been watching the show. Say hello. Great deals. Come in and say hello to them here. And you can check out this show on our fyntv.com. You can check it out on the on demand. We now have on demand on fyntv.com. We put all the shows on there. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetcher News, and also on our Facebook. Richie, we want them to start following our new Team FYN Sports Facebook. Is that what it's called? Team FYN Sports Facebook page. That's a new one we just put up. Again, we just want to remind you, we talk Quad A Region 6 football. That's Ridgeland, Heritage, Lafayette, Southeast Whitfield County, Northwest Whitfield County, Pickens. The Gilmer football team is going to be traveling over September 15th, not this Friday night, take on the Murphy Bulldogs. I think we're good, Coach. We're only 2 weeks away, folks. 2 weeks away from region football. It's when we get into region play, and it's going to get serious on Friday nighs. I'm your host. It's going to be fall. Going to be cool. Hey, thanks for the shirt. This is nice. This all right. I look good in purple.
You do.
I do.
I like that.
Yeah, you and I. I'm your host, BKP. Richie, take us out of here.